On today's show, we're going to give you 7 ways that your fans can help you without them spending any money whatsoever.
This is 15-minute music marketing, and we're going to find out.
Welcome to 15-Minute Music Marketing, the show for independent artists and DIY musicians who want to get better at marketing their music.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Hello, I'm Sheldon, and this is 15-Minute Music Marketing. Give us 15 minutes and we will make you a better music marketer. Now then, Greg, we live in quite semi-uncertain times in terms of...
Semi?
Well,
You going American?
The glass is half full, the glass is half empty. It's suffice to say, cost of living crisis in the UK, inflation is rampant, lots of people are financially vulnerable, they don't have as much money as maybe they used to.
Yes.
And if you're a musician and you're trying to maybe put out a particular product or sell a piece of merchandise, or maybe, touring and getting people to come on a show, it may well be slightly more difficult to get your audience to put their hands in their pockets than it was maybe a couple of years back. Not impossible, but it might be slightly more difficult. And there might be a certain layer of your audience that is financially strapped, shall we say, and isn't able to spend any money on you at that particular point in time. But fear not, Greg, because there are still ways that you can tell them how they can help your music career. There's loads of ways.
So if our last episode was about spending money
This
wisely,
is about, yes.
this is now an episode to do with sharing the love without actually asking anyone to spend any money.
Yes, how
I was
your
going to
fans...
say, show me the results.
How your fans can spread the love about you and your music, and it won't cost them a bean. It won't cost
cost
them
me anything.
It won't cost you anything. So you're putting the onus on your audience. You're saying to your audience, look, don't worry if you can't spend any money on me at the moment. What you can do is you can do these things for me, and that will help me. In fact, you could suggest it's something along these lines. If you're a fan of my music, here's a great way to show your support. It's going to help me out, and it's not going to cost you a penny. There's almost like 3 parts to that.
Right, I see what you did there.
So
Go on. So
for somebody, as in, it's good to say, I don't want your money, but if you can show me your support, that's a great thing. So I've given you a list. You've got a pre-prepared list that we're going to tell the audience about.
So go on then. So you've suggested
Yeah.
that I ask them to share my social media posts.
Well, we know, because we're in the know, that engagement and reach is all about other people sharing your content.
Yes.
So what you have to do is you have to remind your audience that more people will see our stuff if they proactively sort of share it. So the best thing to do is make a video, because video gets the most reach on social networks. Anyway, it's the most engaging.
We have mentioned this in the past, and I'm still amazed at how many people have not grasped that concept.
So make a video, explain to them that reach is limited on these social platforms. So if they want to help you and they want to spread whatever message that you're trying to put out to the world, the more they share, the more people will see our stuff.
Right, so, and how often do you do that? I mean, am I not going to be putting people out? Because,
You don't have to do it every day.
Oh, right, okay. So,
But maybe if you've got maybe a new single dropping, or if there's something you specifically want the world to find out about, then just a little reminder.
But does that not come across a bit begging?
Well, again, you're asking them to. If these people are actively engaged within your career and your music.
So you're suggesting not just anybody that you're asking, you're asking
your followers.
specific, right?
Yeah,
okay.
your followers.
Because I do see a lot of posts on Facebook that saying, "Oh, please share this," and it's just like,
or retweet if you agree. Yeah,
it's different to that.
Yeah,
it's more targeted than just a generic whitewash of.
Yeah, your fans, your community, the people in your musical world. You're saying to them, look, if the more you share my stuff, the more people will get to see it. You're spreading love, but you have got to physically remind them every now and again in order to do so.
Okay, so that's cost me nothing.
Cost that well, it's about costing them nothing. They haven't got any money, remember.
Okay, well, neither have I. I'm a musician, Sheldon. So it's
So
got,
so maybe you might still want to try and generate a bit of money, which leads us on to point number 2.
Okay, so then this is following
Clever.
on from last week. So I haven't had to pay for this either, have I? So get them to stream your music on Spotify and or YouTube.
So the free platform, the free version of Spotify and YouTube, them streaming your music on those platforms will not cost them anything. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying stream it on a loop when they go to bed, although they could do. But again, just a gentle reminder. You know, if you've got Spotify, you can play my stuff. I'll make some money. It's not going to cost you, if you're on the free versions, a bean.
But the thing is, with the only downside of that is you've still got a lot. It's been in the press a lot about in terms of artists hating on Spotify. Is it? I know it's not to digress, but I should be embracing Spotify, not hating it, because something's better than nothing.
I would say so. I mean, this is a conversation maybe for a slightly different episode. I now think my band has passed the point whereby we earn more from streaming than we probably did from physical sales. I mean, we still have physical sales.
Yeah, I mean, okay, granted, most of the physical sales you are at gigs.
Yeah.
So there's still a place for that.
But again, you know, it's for us, it's a passive income. We'll leave. We've only got 15 minutes, Greg.
Yeah, I know. Okay, this is an interesting one.
Go on.
Hold a listening party.
Are you
What do
aware?
mean?
Are you aware of what a listening party is?
I have seen that. I can't remember if it's on one of.
Twitter.
I don't do Twitter.
Twitter.
You can't even start on that with
No, I
your
won't.
semi. In terms of no, go on, please tell me.
Right. Made popular recently by Tim Burgess from the Charlatans.
Yes.
So a load of people simultaneously listen to an album all at the same time. And again, we're all engaged via the social media platforms, so Twitter. So everyone will listen to it, say, like 7 o'clock in an evening. And
Is this something new that they're listening to, or just
Oh
a
no, and
recap,
exists.
or-
Yeah, it's a recap.
Right. Okay.
So my band has been featured on one of Tim's Twitter listening parties, and at a certain time, everybody listened, and we did a track by track listen along. That's probably a good way to.
It's a shame a certain band who just had their 30th anniversary of their first album didn't do that.
Who's that?
You liked it.
I
We saw them live.
I don't know.
Dance band from the early 90s.
Oh, Sunscreen. Yeah,
Yes.
we could have had a listen along to that. But again, it's making people consume your music online, micro royalties, and B, we're all engaged in an event, and it's creating an experience that's happening all at the same sort of time. You could just do it on Twitter and maybe have a specific hashtag for that event. Or as you do it, you could all hop onto Zoom, so everybody there we can see each other, and we can have a virtual event in that capacity.
I mean, that is, especially with the Zoom, actually, it's almost like a meeting but it's more interesting than a conventional Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Okay, I'm kind of getting on board with that.
I'm winning you over.
Okay, so next one, number 4. Ask them to create a playlist that contains your music and get them to share it. Is this just me creating a playlist of a particular theme and I just chuck one of my songs in it?
Well, no. So it would be your fans. So say your fan is called Alicia, and get Alicia to make a themed playlist or whatever, which could contain 1 or 2 of your tracks.
Right.
In there, and then Alicia shares it on her social network. She'll share it maybe on a Facebook page or from a Twitter profile, or she'll do an Instagram reel with a link to it. So she is getting her friends attempting to consume that piece of that playlist, which will have your music on it.
So I guess if the more people you get to create a playlist with a couple of songs, it's not going to be the same playlist.
Yeah.
And okay, that's
It's natural. It's organic. It doesn't feel too salesy. And plus, it's them. They're doing it. They're curating a playlist through their own musical taste, their own musical prism, and it just happens to contain maybe one or two of your.
So
own
this
tracks.
is, I guess, it's almost like the old mixtape scenario.
It's an old
isn't it?
mixtape, and you could have competitions as to who produces the best playlist. You could judge. You could maybe send them a little something.
Again, that's a level of engagement.
You're
That's more
liking
than
this.
just
You're
the
liking
music.
this, Greg. It's
Okay, and I also like the fact it's not going to cost them anything. It's
not going to cost them
me
anything at all.
That's good. So number 5.
Yep.
Okay, this one. Do people still write reviews? So get them to write a review.
Yeah, right. So places where they could write a review. Facebook has
Not TripAdvisor though.
no, not TripAdvisor. Facebook, you can turn on. I don't know whether it's reviews or rate. I think it actually might be reviews.
Okay.
Do you have? You probably don't. Oh, you probably have it for Google. But you probably don't have it for Facebook. But as an
No,
artist,
I have both.
right. Well, there you go. So that's something that you're familiar with.
Yes.
So you could ask them to say, hey, if you've been to one of our shows or you like our music, leave a review. There are certain ticket agencies that allow you, once you've seen a show, to write a review on their page, on your artist page, to describe the show and how they thought the show was. So if you are in a band that sells a certain proportion of their tickets through that particular ticket agency, C Tickets, I think there may well be others. Then that's a possibility as well. And if they give you a good review, then that enhances your reputation online. It doesn't cost them anything, and you could be a beneficiary in some way, shape, or form from that.
Okay. I mean, that probably does sound a little bit more labour intensive, but
They're not doing,
it's still not
doing anything else at the moment, are they, Greg?
That's a fair point. Okay, so number 6, it is ask them to join your mailing list, the old mailing
The
list.
old mailing. You know what? It's.
Am I not trying? Is it not like trying to extract blood from a stone?
It's funny because sometimes when there's a natural conversation within my social pages, especially on Facebook, someone will say, "Where are you playing Newcastle this year?" This is what a real life. I'll go, yes, we're playing Newcastle in 6 months' time. Why not join our mailing list now, so you will know exactly when that show goes on sale? Because people don't always see your messages. So if you can proactively ask them to do that, and it's funny, what will happen is other people will read that message and go, "Oh, I think I might join your mailing list."
I guess the difference in that scenario is that somebody's already asked you a question and you've given them a link road to keep up to date, rather than what I see a lot of, or the common idea is that you're just literally asking people to join a mailing list, but there's no real reason. At that point, there is, isn't
Yeah,
there?
at that point there is. So in other words, you're telling them the benefits there and then in this particular case that you might miss out on this gig announcement. You'd be surprised the amount of people who go, "Oh, when you come to such and such a place, I've just blooming been there. Why weren't you there? Oh, I didn't know." Well, again, get on the mailing list, but sell the benefits to people.
Okay.
So very occasionally I give a mailing list discount code for our online shop, and it's only available for people who are on the mailing list.
So there's a further incentive.
Give them maybe exclusive insights that you can't necessarily get anywhere else, and just tell people. And this is it. Once people are on your mailing list, then you can stay in contact with them better, I find.
Okay, so number 7.
Yep.
Out of 7.
Out of 7. Lucky
Ask
7.
them to share their concert photos and videos. Now, the only thing is, there are still some people who seem to be against the idea of photos and videos being taken of their gigs.
I think those people who go, "Oh, all those people who film gigs with their phones." If anybody makes that sort of complaint on social media, they're not allowed to watch any concert footage filmed on phones by anyone else. It's like, how else are people gonna have memories? This is what people do.
But why are some mainstream artists still against that idea? Because I know you've always been like, we don't care as long as if we're doing something that people like and they're filming it, great, because
Yeah.
it's more free exposure.
But what generally tends to happen is people take a lot of photos, people take a lot of videos, and then it remains on their phones.
Yes.
So what you need to do is you need to encourage people. Hey, if you've been to a gig recently
Tag
and
us in
you've
it.
got some footage, put that footage on your social networks. Again, increasing the reach of your band, getting other people to become reporters almost.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Of your events.
And you've
So-
shared your memory of that event. So it doesn't just, it's not
doesn't
like a
just-
private photo album.
Yeah.
It becomes a
It,
public.
becomes a public document, and people can be introduced in
Okay.
a particular way. So,
So-
that one makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So in summary, we know that marketing, money or time, well, it's the same for your fans, isn't it?
Yes. So this is the thing we always say: marketing your music, it will either cost you money or it will either cost you time, and it's the same if your fans are helping to market you and your music and your career. It will either cost them money, but in this particular case, we don't want their money. What we really want is just a little bit of their time. And if they can maybe do one of those 7 things, that will help you in the process, and they will remain financially not.
Solvent.
Well, yes, they don't need to. I can't find other ways of keep saying the term spending a penny. It won't cost. It'll cost them nada, nothing.
So 7 ideas that will share the love of your art and music that will cost you and your fans nothing.
And why not share the love of this podcast and video blog or whatever you want to
Yes.
call it by spreading it amongst your social channels? Tell a musician friend that Greg and Sheldon are back, and they're doing wonderful things in terms of telling people about their music and stuff. And if you've got any ideas for future shows, stuff that you'd
Like
like
in
us
the
to
comment beneath.
comment upon, stick it there.
All right. Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next episode.
See you next time. Ta-da!